All right, welcome back, Cosmic Cunties. My name is Tiffany. I am head Cunty if you are new here. And I am here to talk about the weekly astrology energy that we might be experiencing for the week of December 1st, which is today when I'm recording, until December 7th. So, as always, we will go through day by day talking about what we might be experiencing within our own lives, and based on what we might be experiencing internally can be a reflection of our external world, but it also can bring about maybe what we're experiencing from the outside world. And so just preparing us to know what to expect, and if it happens, we are able to be well aware and best prepared and show up as our highest versions of ourselves, or at least try to. Or if it doesn't happen, then great, at least we had some type of idea that maybe it could happen. This is just a general reading. This is not like this will happen to you. So take the information that resonates with you, take the information that aligns with you in your life and where you're at in your life right now. Otherwise, leave it at the door. This is just for, again, general reading. So if you Cunties are ready, we will take charge and go forward for this week. Happy December. We are one more month of 2025. I am seriously, obviously so excited. And just to step into 2026, if you've been with me for the last few months, then you know that this year's been rough, even if you haven't been with me. But also, if you've been with me, you know that we're getting ready to leap into something massive. We're all launching things or starting things or really getting our shit together to move forward in the ways that we want to show up in the world, authentically aligned, without the baggage next year. So it's really exciting for me. And this is a holiday season. So we're about to hit things home. Next February, March, things are really going to start picking up, and I'm super excited for us. So yeah, I can't wait for 2020 to be over. I really can't. I have been honestly in the darkest depths that I have been in since being conscious and awakened. I really have been, if you know me closely, you know what I've been through. And if you know me closely and you know what I've been through, thank you for being here with me. So my intention for everybody this week is, it's a fairly easy week. So breathe deep, babies, Cunties. Breathe deep, breathe easy. We are slowly melting into the Sagittarius season. Planets are starting to move direct if they haven't already. This is where the reflection and resolutions have happened and are wrapping up. We're continuing to step forward as the new versions of ourselves. We have felt this deep clearing and deep rewiring and just like all of it. And it's like the cocoon tears or the snakeskin. It's like the snakeskin is finally off, and we can still kind of feel it shimmying off, or we can see the cocoon opening. And it's like we're looking out and we're like, okay, this is now the world that we're stepping into. Is there any final last clearings internally or externally? Because we can see it now. We see clearly and we're like, does this align? And so we may not be fully out of the cocoon yet, but we're seeing the new world as we're emerging into it. And what we want there and maybe what we do not want there. So the dust is settled. When we're mapping out our next moves, essentially, it's Sagittarius season. We're like, ooh, let's have a little fun. I mean, it doesn't have to be chaotic fun like Sagittarius season normally is. We're going to be easy on ourselves. 2025 has been kind of hard, if not really hard. And so we're going to be dipping our toes in the water. Ooh, this looks fun. The new version of myself once in this water, touch, feel it. Whatever your new self does, maybe your new self fucking dives deep into the pond, water, pool, whatever, lake, ocean. And yeah, so it's like whatever aligns for you is kind of what we're doing. And Sagittarius is all about enjoying and having fun as this new version of ourselves. So that is the intention for the week. So let's start for Monday, the 1st of December. We've got the moon in Aries trining Mars in Sagittarius. And this is really the energy of the week in the nutshell going forward. So we're supported in moving forward and taking action. We just need to be careful not to act on our fiery emotions. Aries and Sagittarius are both fire signs. And the moon is our internal world. And then we've got Mars, which is a planet of taking action. It is a planet of conflict as well. So when we are combining the planet of conflict, and then also the moon is squaring Jupiter in Cancer, so it's a little more emotional and watery. When we're combining it with the friction of that, because it's a square, there's some expansive, fiery energy to take action, but we have to be careful, again, that we're not acting on unprocessed emotions. Aries are the infants of the astrological signs or of the archetypes. And so we have to be really careful that we are not just acting in like a temper tantrum on our emotions without first kind of thinking it through and acting it through. And then later today, December 1st, we are moving into Taurus. And so the moon is moving into Taurus, I mean. So this is more grounding, more stabilizing. It's also a little more stubborn, and it's also going to square Pluto in Aquarius. So when we combine that with the shadow underworld planet of Pluto, that is kind of tearing things down. So we might feel like a rumble and a shake that is ungrounding us and destabilizing us. We need to just make sure that we kind of know that we've got us, I've got me, you got you, and we are grounded internally. And so whatever shakeups are happening externally, it's okay. We're handling them. We've got this, nothing is happening that's going to be too harmful, because a new version of ourselves, we're authentic, we're aligned, we're so in tune, we are so real. Like let me just harp on this one more time. I am so excited to watch all of you Cunties step out into your power. I feel it so big. I feel it so heavily, not just for myself, but for all of these women in my life, and men too. If you're a man and you're watching this, shout out. But all of us are Cunties. We are all bad bitches. We are all reclaiming this word. We are all reclaiming our world. We are all choosing how we want to show up in our world. We are all choosing what our world looks like, and we are feeling empowered to do it. And we're so supported, and we need it. Our guides are here, and they are like, you guys have felt the deep, dark depths of transformation, of dying and being rebirthed anew. You guys have done this hard work. You're shaking out the remaining little like parts of your cocoon or parts of your snakeskin, and you guys are moving forward. But the one thing that we need to be aware of, the one thing that we can be so excited to move forward, but we have to make sure that our foundation is stable. We have to make sure that our foundation is grounded, because when we start to move forward, it's the fire horse of 2026. So when we start to move forward, it is fast. It is rapid. It is like, we think of a horse speed, like we're going. And so some of us are ready to move forward, but some of us are not ready to move forward as fast as this is about to take off. And I keep getting this message from my guides, like your life is about to change, and change fast. So have your systems in place. I've been harping, have your systems in place since January. And it's so true, because this is the Saturn and Aries that we started. We've got we had some Capricorn movement, and it's just like this stabilizing of our structures and our systems that's going to create that forward movement of that with on that stable foundation. That is what is happening for us. And it, that horsepower moving us forward It has to have stable ground, or else that's going to just like shake everything up. And then 2025 is going to, I'm going to say be for naught. Like, we will have done all this work in 2025 for nothing. And that cannot be true. So make sure your shit is ready to go and go Godspeed. Okay. Tuesday, the December 2nd, we don't have any serious aspects. We have some sextile, but I don't cover that on Cosmic Cunties. I'm already diving deep with the moon. So we're going to move to Wednesday the 3rd. Moon in Taurus, that grounding feeling, is opposing Mercury in Scorpio. And the moon in Taurus is also conjunct Uranus, which is still retrograding in Taurus. So this is really the mind versus the heart. Mercury is all about mind, intellect, communication. It's our emotional world that is grounded, but what we might hear externally, or what we might communicate, or what might be communicated to us or said, is not as grounded. It's a little more spicy. Scorpio's deep. It's spicy. It's ruled by Mars and Pluto. Like, it's the uncomfortable stuff that Scorpio comes with. And that's why they get a lot of flack, and that's why they get a lot of hate, because not many people are ready for that. But Scorpio like lives in that deep depth. And then with it, the conjunction with the Uranus retrograding in Taurus, we're going to feel some shakeup. We're going to perhaps have conversations that are affecting our grounded internal world. So just be prepared for that. And then the moon is going to move into Gemini. So this is the full moon energy that we're experiencing this week on Thursday, on the 4th. So we're already starting to work with it on Wednesday. This is really the duality of our ideas and our communication, our intellect, and we're putting this on the emotional level with the moon. So this message is trying to get us to communicate our feelings, but we have to make sure that we're not intellectualizing our emotions. But also with the moon and Gemini trining Pluto and Aquarius, we have to start... We're really using our ideas and our thoughts to help humanity within the social causes that are important to us in our lives. So maybe coming up with a drive, or helping a cause for the holiday season, or allowing ourselves to help within groups of people in some way. Putting our emotions, our thoughts, our ideas out into the world is really kind of how this is laying out on Wednesday. Also, to know how this full moon on Thursday is going to take place within your chart, go ahead and look where Gemini is in your chart, what house it's in, and that's where you're going to need to be releasing something within that theme of that house. So for example, let's move to Thursday here, and let's talk about the full moon in Gemini. Gemini is, again, intellect, ideas, thoughts, communication. Where do you need to release anything within that realm? Ways that you communicate. So where are you holding back from sharing your voice, sharing your ideas? Where are you not speaking your truth? Where do you get stuck in your mind? Why do you get stuck in your mind? What are your limiting beliefs? What stops you from allowing your truth and light to shine? We are releasing those things this week. Also, more specifically, look again to your Gemini house. So for me, my Gemini house is in the 2nd house. So where am I holding back on my voice because of worthiness, because of not feeling like my ideas or my voice is good enough or important enough? 2nd house for me is ruled by Taurus. So it's also finances. I could be selling my house on this full moon, believe it or not. Fingers crossed. And then who knows where the hell life is taking me. So again, look into your house. And this is a good time to say, once I reach 50 subscribers, so if you are watching this and you are enjoying the content, subscribe, like, comment. I don't care if it's a hate comment. Actually, I do care if it's a hate comment. Don't put hate, just constructive criticism. We don't need to be spreading more hate in this world. But once I reach 50 subscribers, then I'm going to start breaking these major things that are happening throughout the week for Cosmic Cunties down by rising sign. So that's going to be even more relevant to you, so you can know how these major planetary aspects every week are going to be affecting you personally. The other thing that is really important to mention here is this is kind of it's like... My favorite astrologer mentioned this, bending the eclipses that have happened. So full moon in Gemini is squaring the Pisces North Node and Virgo South Node of this year. And so it's kind of like, where are we seeing this squaring, this friction, this maybe a little bit of conflict in your habits, Virgo South Node, that you need to be releasing? And that can be related to how you hold your voice back or your ideas back. And so that you can head towards Pisces North Node, your dreams. So this is really getting to the heart of it and really asking you, where are you still holding back on yourself? Where are you too strict on yourself? Where are you too like in the day-to-day process and not allowing yourself to pursue and follow your dreams and passions? So it's kind of a big moon if you're asking me, a big full moon if you're asking me, especially to release the things that are holding us back. So also the moon in Gemini is going to oppose Venus in Sagittarius. And so Venus being the planet of beauty, abundance, of love, of receivership. This is the communication access, Sagittarius and Gemini, of our internal world and the way that we receive abundance or love. It's all related. It's all within the heart chakra here. So maybe communicating our needs or what we want is a struggle within our love lives. Or maybe something happens that doesn't feel good internally within our ability to receive abundance, beauty, or love or self-love. And so just paying attention to that, because that can be a lead as to what you're trying to release for the full moon, because the opposition of Venus and Sagittarius does happen a little bit before the actual full moon takes place on Thursday. However, it's really like an energetic combination. So where, again, I'll repeat it, are you holding back on your voice, your ideas, or speaking your truth? Where are you getting stuck in your mind and why? All right, now let's move on to Friday. The moon in Gemini is opposing Mars in Sagittarius. It's also going to square Saturn in Pisces. So this is kind of the same as Thursday's energy with the opposition of Venus, but it's Mars. So it's more so taking action, moving things forward, handling conflict. This energy is really ripe for disagreements. And disagreements are not negative things. The only thing that's negative within a disagreement is if you disrespect somebody, or if the way that you share your disagreement is not within love, essentially. And with the moon squaring Saturn in Pisces, with that opposition of Mars, this is especially combining for feelings of frustration, of like intense friction, of karma. But perhaps this is a final clearing out of the Mercury retrograde realizations, because we're still in the shadow period. So we're still cleansing and clearing, but Saturn is now direct. So with Saturn being direct now, it's like the support in taking action and going forward and doing things that are aligned with our goals. We've got a clear picture of how we need to show up in this world and how we need to move forward. We also have Mars in Sagittarius trining Chiron retrograding in Aries. This really is empowerment with the trine to make moves on what's been holding you back from expressing, from your true authenticity, showing up as your full new self after all of this shedding and deep internal healing work. Where have you realized that your wounds, Chiron, are holding you back? And what are your wounds? How have you alchemized them? And now is the time to take action on them and to go forward on that clearing and cleansing, that licking of our wounds. We are now moving forward and feeling empowered on the embracing of those wounds. We also have the moon in Gemini squaring Neptune, retrograding in Pisces. And so this is the same energy as early on in the day on Friday, but it's more so asking yourself where you're not fully taking accountability in what took place earlier in the day or the day before. What was your part? Maybe there was a disagreement. Maybe there was some combativeness, some conflict. and maybe it didn't feel good. Maybe this is a good time to reflect on, were you a little bit delusional in how you showed up or what you were saying or the way the disagreement took place? Or could you have shown up in a more loving, compassionate way? And then later on Friday, we do have the moon moving into her motherland of Cancer. So emotional, motherly, intuitive. And we're going to be feeling that a little bit on Sunday. But on Saturday, we have Mercury in Scorpio trining Jupiter retrograde in Cancer. The planet of communication is trining the planet of expansion within water signs. So communicating our emotions in a healthy way is supported by the cosmos today on Saturday. Maybe you have realized things during the retrograde season or know this communication is going to come up, whether you bring it up or somebody else does. This is a day to allow those conversations that need to take place to happen and to unfold and to do it from love and from your well thought out ideas that hopefully happen during retrograde season. So this is a movement forward and kind of a rehashing and refining and like ironing it out so that we can move forward without any karma. And then Sunday, we have that moon in Cancer conjunct Jupiter retrograding in Cancer. So we've got the expansion of our emotions, whatever those emotions are. Remember, Jupiter in Cancer is not just happy-go-lucky, love, joy, happy, joy. If you're a Ren and Stimpy fan. And then we also have the moon in Cancer later on trining Saturn in Pisces, and Mercury and Scorpio trining Saturn and Pisces combined together. So this is communicating our feelings in a healthy way, allowing ourselves to speak to our depths in a clear and concise manner. And whatever you're feeling is able to be easily communicated and understood. So you're supported in whatever you're feeling and communicating that and moving that forward. And hopefully you have those emotions well thought out and it's not just like a Scorpio, an unhealed Scorpio. Nobody wants that. We want the healed, well thought out Scorpio. Hopefully you did, once again, that Mercury retrograde rewiring, reworking, refining, redefining, clearing, and cleansing. If you didn't, I don't know how you didn't, honestly, because that was intense. Okay, we've also got Moon in Cancer trining Mercury in Scorpio and Moon in Cancer trining Neptune in Pisces. That really is all the supporting placements cosmically that's supporting having those conversations that need to be had. And then lastly, on Sunday, we've got the moon moving into Leo. Again, fiery, passionate, fun, playful. But it is opposing Pluto and Aquarius. So it might come across as what is happening in the world within like groups of friends, groups of people, humanity, just the world in general. Could be putting a damper on your fun, playful, internal world. And so maybe the question is, where can you bring your passion and your fire into helping others on Sunday? So that is all I have for you for the week of December 1st through the 7th. As always, if you have any questions or comments or ways that you see this playing out in your own life, I love to hear them. You can DM me on Instagram, you can email me, or you can put it in the comments below. I always provide all of my information in the info box below. And hit like again, subscribe. You have no idea how much that really means and supports me. Otherwise, I'm just kind of like floating out here in the ether and I'm not knowing how this stuff hits you. You letting me know if it's good or if it's bad or how I can be better helps me refine this to better equate to you guys and be there for y'all. And if you guys are looking for a personal reading, whether that be a natal chart reading or a birth chart reading, an astrocartography reading, or a 2026 reading, my website is linked down below. And if you guys are looking for synastry reading, which is two people's charts together and the relationship and how you all work together for the good, bad, and ugly, I have that as well. And those are my favorite types of readings because I feel like we are all in relation with one another. And if we can show up as a better version of ourselves in relation with others, friends, family, lovers, coworkers, then, and or how we can show up better or how we show up good with each other. That's my jam. That's my sauce. I love doing it. So yeah, if you guys are not having any questions, if you could just let me know how it resonated for you throughout the week, I would appreciate it greatly. And I hope you have a wonderful week. Love to you, Cunties.